Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber and girl, I acknowledge you. Yes, you are correct. I am wearing the exact same outfit that I was wearing in last week's video, and you are correct, I'm wearing the same top I wear in like 99% of my videos. Guys, this top just really works with the lighting. Okay, most of the time this is the only thing that doesn't make me look too washed out, and I just feel like red looks good on me in general. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about all the side hustles that you can get yourself into to make some extra cash. This video is tailored for people who work full-time, but obviously these are side hustles you can do even if you're either currently unemployed or you're a student. I will make a separate video that speaks specifically for side hustles that students can do, particularly because I was like a really big side hustler when I was a student, so please stay tuned for that one. Before I get into the actual side hustles, I do want to make a couple of disclaimers, right? Firstly, the income that you generate from a side hustle is not the same as passive income. Side hustles require more of your time and your skill. So you do have to actually put in work in order to be able to like earn this income. It's not something that you can like just put into place now and then sit back and let it generate income for you. You have to continuously be investing your time and your skills into it. So with that being said, also I just want to mention Uguti, side hustles, guys, are not going to replace your 9-to-5 income. They really require kind of like a mindset shift, and they require a certain level of humility. In that, for example, some of you guys are like professionals earning like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 rand a month, but you could do with like an extra 3k or even an extra 5k, but you aren't willing, for example, to do certain jobs because they're not like as prestigious or they're not like as high earning as your 9-to-5. That's not the purpose of side hustles. Yes, there are side hustles that you can kind of build long term into a business, and maybe I'll make a separate video for those types of side hustles, but these side hustles I'm going to be speaking about here are more side hustles that are just meant to supplement your income for the moment until you get your actual 9-to-5 income to a point where you'd like it to be. And then the best place to start in actually deciding what side hustle is best suited for you is to look at what are you actually good at, or what comes more naturally to you. Do what you know comes most naturally to you. Now, to get into the actual side hustles, the very first one is the one I've actually already mentioned, and that is tutoring. And this could be either high school or university students, and I've personally done both. And there's kind of like two ways that you can do this. You can either tutor for like a tutoring company, or you can actually start a tutoring company yourself. And guys, I've done both of these, and trust me, like starting a tutoring company is not as difficult as you might think it is. Guys, like you can earn really decent money. If you did really well in a subject in high school like maths or physics or accounting or English or Xhosa, or you did well in like certain subjects in university like accounting or constitutional law or mathematics, anything along those lines, please don't let your good marks go to waste. Don't let your good marks go to waste. Clearly you understood that subject and you got those concepts. Use your knowledge that you accumulated while you were in high school and while you were in university to actually add value in other kids' lives and to make yourself a good income. The second side hustle is quite similar to the first one, and that is online tutoring. And there's like 3 ways that you can do this. The first one is to be like an online English conversation partner. So for example, there's quite a lot of companies who provide services, especially to children and adults actually over in Asia, who need to learn how to speak English, and you can kind of like get a job with one of these companies, and that just basically means that on a daily basis or a couple of times a week you sit at your laptop and you just have a normal English conversation with like a 15-year-old kid from China, and you kind of teach them how to properly formulate their sentences, you know, the difference between past tense and present tense and past participle, those types of things. But I do think a lot of these companies or organizations that provide these conversation partner services do require you to have a degree or at least like a higher diploma or something like that. So if you do have a qualification, regardless of whether it's in linguistics or it's in maths or it's in physics or it's in politics, as long as you have an undergraduate degree, you can actually get yourself these jobs. They are quite rare, especially for us who live in South Africa, so they do require you to put in a bit of work. Another way is for you to actually then tutor technical, like more technical subjects like maths, accounting, physics, especially those ones that are like in very high demand, like maths and statistics and physics. You can get yourself online tutoring jobs where you can tutor children online over the internet anywhere in the world. That's another way for you to be like an online tutor. And then another way to tutor online is for you to not necessarily have one-on-one sessions with students or with kids, but rather for you to kind of answer their homework questions or like questions that they may have about what they're currently like learning at school. So for example, like there are portals where you can sign up to be like a person who provides answers, and basically you log onto these systems and kids will ask you questions about physics, about maths and so on, and then you answer those questions and you get paid a fee. And then the third one is for you to offer your translation services. So this is something that you can do if you can like read and write multiple languages. So for example, this is something I did when I was a student, where I worked for a girl who was a PhD student and she was conducting research and she needed some of her reports to be translated from English to isiXhosa. And because I could read and write both English and isiXhosa, I offered myself to her and she paid me. But another place where you can offer these services is actually to the government. So there are like lots of different parliamentary and government documentation that are written in English that need to be translated into the other 10 official languages. So if you can read and write other South African languages, please try and get into this. Do your research and find out how you can offer these services if you are good at reading and writing both English and like another South African language. Another side hustle that you can do is that you can be a graphics designer or a web designer. And this does require like quite a pretty high level of skill, but at the same time I do think with the way that our technology is set up in our day and age, I don't think you need necessarily like a computer science degree or diploma or information systems degree or diploma to create a website or to, you know, design graphics for people. There are like multiple platforms that provide you with templates to do graphics, with templates to create websites, online stores that you can utilize and then kind of apply your artistic and some like level of technical skill, but mostly your artistic abilities to design things for people. You can learn to do and then offer it to small businesses or businesses that are owned by like older people who aren't as tech savvy. You can just kind of offer, you know, to build a little website for them or to build an online store. Examples of like sites that you can use to get templates are things like Shopify, Wix, Squarespace. Like there's so many, guys, there's so many. But that's a side hustle idea, to do graphics and web design for companies. Side hustle number 5 is to become a babysitter or a nanny or even a pet sitter. You know, I'm not saying you have to like become a full-blown nanny where you look after children like 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm talking about like if there's a couple at your church, for example, who you know has little infants and they want to take a break, let's say every Thursday night, to go and have a date night, offer to come and babysit at like a fee. Or if like there's a lady at your workplace who you know is like really overwhelmed with her children and you guys have like a decent-ish relationship, offer Uti you can come and babysit her kids like two nights a week and she can pay you a fee for it. And the same thing with like looking after pets as well. You know, a lot of people who have pets don't like to take their pets with them when they go on vacation. So a really great thing that you can do is that you can advertise that you can come and house sit and pet sit for them, or people can bring their pets over to your home and you look after them while they go on holiday. This does require you to like very actively market. I would say that a good place to start is with people that you actually know. You know, people who have children, who have pets, and you know, Uti, from time to time they need help with their kids or with their pets. offer your time. But guys, please only do this if you actually like have experience with children, and secondly, if you actually love children. If you're a person who can't stand children, please don't go and like torture yourself and torture other people's children by babysitting them for 3 hours on a Thursday evening when you know or do you actually don't want to be there. And the same thing with animals as well. Side hustle number 6 is to sell Avon, Justine, or Tupperware to your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, your followers on social media. This is a tricky one because a lot of people actually think Avon and Tupperware and Justine are pyramid schemes or like MLMs as they're known in the US. But guys, there's a very big difference between companies like Justine and Avon and Tupperware and like pyramid schemes, and I'm actually going to make a whole separate video on what pyramid schemes are, how to protect yourself, how to protect your loved ones. Companies like Justine, Avon, and Tupperware are not pyramid schemes, and I really think that like those companies have really built such a good business model in the way that they sell things. So if you are able to, if you know that like you're a relatively good salesperson and you're able to sell things and ideas to people, do this, guys. Do this. Guys, I'm so sorry. I literally just got load shedding. So my ring light literally turned off. That's why the lighting has changed and I've like moved positions. But luckily that was like the last side hustle that I was going to mention, is to get yourself into the Avon, the Justine, and the Tupperware marketing teams and make yourself some extra cash that way. I will make a separate video soon about like pyramid schemes so that you can kind of like learn to identify the differences. But yeah, guys, these are all the side hustle ideas that you can do if you are working a 9-to-5 job. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it if you're to join my family and subscribe to my channel, and also like go ahead and share the video with your friends. You see that share button there on YouTube? Press it, girl, and send the link over to your friends so that they too can get some ideas on how to make a little bit of extra cash. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate you watching my videos. And in fact, Nje, while you're still here, why don't you go ahead and check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Bye.
I can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right.